Students, good morning to all. Myself is Alexander. I'm your biology teacher, and today I'm going to discuss about plant physiology, Unit 19. So, Unit 19 explain about the plant physiology. Before entering into this topic, there are two terms commonly used in the biology subject. One is anatomy. Another one is in physiology. What is anatomy? What is anatomy? Study of structure of an organism, internal structure as well as external structure. ஒரு ஆர்கானிஸுடைய இன்டர்னல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சரை பற்றி படிக்கிறது, எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஸ்ட்ரக்சரை பற்றி படிக்கிறது anatomy-ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Do you understand what I'm saying? The study of structure, internal and external structure of an organism is called anatomy. Okay. Next one is in physiology. What is the physiology? It is a branch of science which deals with the mechanism of organism and the function of the organism. The study of mechanism and function of the organism, living organism, is known as physiology. So physiology la nama அந்த ஆர்கானிஸோடைய மூமெண்ட்டு, அதாவது மெக்கானிசம் ப்ளஸ் அதனுடைய ஃபங்க்ஷன். ஸோ இதை பற்றி படிக்கிறது தான் physiology. So two terms, one is anatomy, another one is in physiology. Okay, so anatomy explain about the internal and external structure of an organism, and physiology will be explaining about the mechanism and function of the organism. Today our topic is plant physiology. So that indicates we are going to study about the mechanism, the movement as well as the function of the organism, function of the plants. Okay, so animals, they move in search of food, shelter and water, all these things. Do plants also move like that? Do animals and plants are same in the movement? So அனிமல் வந்து ஒரு ஃபுட்டை தேடுறதுக்கு ஒரு இடத்துலேருந்து இன்னொரு இடத்துக்கு மூவ் ஆகி போயிட்டு இருக்கு. ஓகே, ஆனால் பிளான்ட் அப்படி போக முடியுமா? whether the movement is happening in the plant also, அதுதான் இந்த லெசனுடைய ஹார்ட் கொஸ்டின்ஸ். இந்த மூமெண்ட் பிளான்ட்டில் கூட அந்த மூமெண்ட் நடக்குமா? எஸ், ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ். இன் பிளான்ட் ஆல்சோ த மூமெண்ட் இஸ் டேக்கிங் place. But it is not like that of animals. Animal நடக்கிற போது கிடையாது. The plant movement is because of the stimuli. The movement, a part of the plant, the whole plant இல்லைன்னா part of the plants, அதனுடைய மூமெண்ட் எப்படி இருக்குன்னா ஒரு ஸ்டிமுலை நோக்கி இருக்கும், இல்லைன்னா away from the stimuli. ஸ்டிமுலைனா என்ன? What is stimuli? Stimuli என்றது chemical substances. The response because of the chemical substances. The response due to the light. The response to the temperature. The response to the objects. Touch senses. These are all stimuli. Okay? The things which stimulate the plant to give response. That's stimuli. Stimuli under the chemical substances, touch, then temperature, light. All these things are known as stimuli to the plants to respond to it. Okay, so இதெல்லாம் அந்த பிளான்ட் கிடைச்சிச்சுன்னா அது ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணும். Okay, so this, what is the term used for this? The response to the stimuli, the movement of the whole plant or part of plant to the stimuli. What do we call it? The term is given as tropism. The tropism, what is tropism? The movement of the plant to the stimuli. And the plant உடைய whole part movementல இருக்கும், இல்லைன்னா a part of the plant will be involved in the movement. So here the definition is written: the movement of the plants towards stimuli. You understand what I am saying? So who is called the father of plant physiology. So everyone, so if we study about the father of zoology, so all the branch of biology, science, they will be a peculiar persons who has given the idea first at first. So who is called the father of plant physiology? The father of plant physiology is Julius Sachs in 1868. Okay, I hope so you are understanding all this concept. So what is an physiology? It is study of function and mechanism of organism. What is tropism? The movement of plants, the whole part of the plant, whole plant or part of the plants towards the stimuli. Okay, towards the stimuli. This is, we call it an tropism. The stimuli may be stimulus is a singular form. Okay, stimulus is a singular form. Stimuli is a plural form. So what are the stimulus? What are the things can be a stimulus? Stimuli can be light, temperature, soil, water, okay, touch, objects. So touch in this comes under objects. Chemical substances. Chemical substances. So all these things are considered as a stimuli to the plants for its movement. Okay, light, temperature, soil, water, touch are chemical substances. Okay, do you understand what I am saying? So based on the nature of stimuli, there are different types of tropism. So based on nature of the stimuli, tropism is classified. So what is phototropism? Phototropism. What will be the stimuli? Here, the light. The plant responds to the light. The plant responds to the light. So what can be the example for this? Shoot of the plant. Do you understand what I am saying? Sunflowers. We say that always the sunflowers turn towards the sun. What is the meaning of that? So the sunflowers showing the response to the stimuli of light. So that's why. So which side the sun is there, and to that side, and the plant shows response. So that means the plant shows response towards the sunlight. So this is we termed as phototropism. Phototropism. So stimuli is in light. Okay, and which part of the plant can show phototropism? That is shoot of the plant. Do you understand what I am saying? Okay. Next one is Hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. The stimuli obviously is water. Hydro means water. Okay, the stimuli is obviously water. So plant show response to the water. Show the response to the water. Okay, which part of the plant can show response towards the water? That is an root of the plant. Root of the plant. Do you understand what I am saying? What is phototropism? The movement of the plant to the light stimuli. Okay, the response of the plant to the light stimuli is known as phototropism. Okay, shoot of the plant show response towards the light. Okay, another one is an hydrotropism. Hydro means water. So the part of the plant which show response to the stimuli of water. Okay, the movement of the plant part towards the water is called hydrotropism. The movement of water towards the movement of the plants towards the water is known as hydrotropism. An example, the root of the plant. Next type of tropism is geotropism. Okay, geotropism. Geo, you already know, that's earth. So earth comprises of soil. The movement of plant's part towards the soil is known as geotropism. The movement of the plant towards the soil is known as geotropism. So which part of the plant can show the geotropism? Obviously, the root of the plant can show the geotropism. However, some plants, halophytes, okay? However, some plants, halophytes. Example, mangroves. This mangrove forest, these mangrove trees, and they show the opposite to that of geotropism. That means negative geotropism. Okay, I will be explaining what is negative and positive geotropism. So in case of halophytes, what happens? The roots grow against or move away, grow against the soil. That means they are coming out of the earth. They are coming out of the soil and grow. That is why they have to do like that, because they have to get the oxygen. So they are respiratory roots. They are respiratory roots. So example is a rhizopora. So they have the respiratory root. Hemotrophos. Okay, I will be explaining what is a negative geotropism, what is a positive geotropism. Now you should know what is a geotropism. The movement of the plant's parts towards the soil. Okay, that's we call it an geotropism. Geotropism. Hemotropism. Next one is a hemotropism. Okay, hemotropism. Obviously, the stimuli is chemical substances. chemical substance. Obviously the stimuli is chemical substances in hemotropism. Okay, so the parts of the plant towards the chemical substances that happens in the growth of the pollen tube. So example for hemotropism is growth of pollen tube. So what else we might have studied? Pollination. What is pollination? The transfer of the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Am I right? So we have studied the pollination like this. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Okay. So when they are transferred, this pollen grain settle on the stigma. Afterwards, what happens? So from the stigma, that pollen grains germinate, in the sense they make a growth of the pollen tube to reach the ovary. Okay, how this growth of the pollen tube can happen? Because these pollen grains, they carry the sugar solution and that settle on the stigma. So there is an attraction on the stigma. Okay, the attraction between the pollen grains and stigma. So because of that, the pollen tube is growing inside of the stigma, that is then reaches the ovary. Do you understand what I am saying? So growth of the pollen tube. That is a best example for hemotropism. So how the growth of the pollen tube take place? Because the sugar solution attraction on the stigma. Sugar solution attraction on the stigma. Okay. So fourth one we have seen, that is an hemotropism. Next one is Thickmotropism. Thickmotropism. So what is this Thickmotropism? See, you might have seen in your garden. Example, bitter garden, or you can see that money plants, all these things. Okay, so bitter gourd plant, money plant, if you see these plants, they will be having dendrile, the long thread like structures. Like this dendrile, what it will do, it will go and bind around any objects nearby it. இந்த பாவக்காய் செடி, இந்த மணி பிளான்ட் செடியெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது பக்கத்தில் ஏதாவது ஒரு சப்போர்ட் இருந்துச்சுன்னா அந்த சப்போர்ட்டை சுற்றி அது வந்து கிளைம் பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கும், வளர ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஸோ இட் ஃபைண்ட் த சப்போர்ட் டு கிளைம். ஓகே, the climbers, they find the support to climb over on the objects. Okay, that is we call it Thickmotropism. The movement of the plant towards the objects in order to climb over. So that's we call it a Thickmotropism. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thickmotropism. And the climbers of vines and climbers of bitter gourd, okay, money plants, all these things are examples. They are showing the Thickmotropism movement. Got it? Clear? Fine. So I hope so you are able to understand what is tropism. Tropism is the movement of the plants towards the stimuli. Maybe the whole plant can move or a part of the plant can move towards the stimuli. So based on the nature of the stimuli, then the tropism have different types. One is an phototropism, another one is an hydrotropism, a third one is an geotropism, hemotropism and thickmotropism. Okay. So generally tropism is classified two categories. One is an positive tropism negative tropism. So what kind of movement is shown by the shoot of the plant? The shoot எதை நோக்கி வளரும்? They always towards the sunlight. They always grow towards the sunlight. So this type of tropism we call it a positive tropism. Okay, shoot of the plant. Shoot of the plant. This is positive tropism towards stimuli. Away from stimuli. Okay. Do you understand what I am saying? Positive tropism, that tropism shown towards the stimuli. So shoot of the plants always grow towards the sunlight. So that is a positive phototropism. Okay. Do you understand what I am saying? Positive phototropism. Another one is the root of the plant. Root of the plant. Root of the plant. They always grow towards move towards the soil, the geo. Okay, so they are showing the positive tropism. அதாவது பிளான்ட் உடைய பார்ட் எதை நோக்கி வளருதோ அது வந்து பாசிட்டிவ், அதுக்கு ஆப்போசிட்ல போச்சுன்னா அது நெகட்டிவ். ஓகே, இப்போ ஒரு பிளான்ட்டை எடுத்தேன்னா அதில் வந்து ஷூட் சிஸ்டம், ரூட் சிஸ்டம்னு இருக்கும். இந்த ஷூட்ன்றது goes towards the sunlight, so அதனால அது positive tropism. Okay, but it goes away from the soil. It goes away from the soil. In the shoot வந்து it's move away from the soil. That means then negative tropism. அப்போ tropismல ரெண்டு கேட்டகரி இருக்கு. ஒன்று பாசிட்டிவ் ட்ரோபிசம், நெகட்டிவ் ட்ரோபிசம். ஒரு பிளான்ட் பார்ட், இந்த ஷூட் ஆஃப் த பிளான்ட், அது வந்து லைட் நோக்கி வளர்றதால அது பாசிட்டிவ் ட்ரோபிசம்ன்றோம். தட்ஸ் மூவ் அவே ஃப்ரம் த சாயில். த சாயில்லேருந்து இட்ஸ் மூவ் அவே ஃப்ரம் த சாயில்னா தட் இஸ் நெகட்டிவ் ட்ரோபிசம். அதே போல் நம்ம ரூட்டை சொல்லலாம். ரூட் மூவ் டுவர்ட்ஸ் த சாயில். ஓகே, ரூட் மூவ் டுவர்ட்ஸ் த சாயில், அது வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் ஜியோட்ரோபிசம்ன்றோம். ஓகே, த ரூட் is away from the light. Root is away from the light source, then that is negative geotropism. Okay, எந்த ஸ்டிமுலை நோக்கி வளருதோ அதை பாசிட்டிவ்னும், அதுக்கு ஆப்போசிட்ல போச்சுன்னா அது நெகட்டிவ்னும். கிளியர்? ஸோ shoot of the plant grow towards the sunlight, that is called positive phototropism. Positive phototropism. Clear? Do you understand what I am saying? So here negative tropism away from the stimuli, so we can have it. For example கொடுக்கறேன், phototropism. Okay, phototropismல நம்ம எடுக்கலாம். Phototropism. இந்த phototropismல சன்லைட் நோக்கி வளர பார்ட், பிளான்ட் பார்ட் வந்து ஷோஸ் பாசிட்டிவ். ஸோ ஃபோட்டோட்ரோபிசம் is having two types of tropism. One is a positive tropism. Positive phototropism. Okay, positive phototropism. So example, again example, shoot of the plant. Shoot of the plant. So negative phototropism. Negative phototropism. The negative phototropism is the root எதை நோக்கி வளருது? So root move away from the light. Am I right? Root of the plants move away from the light. So it shows the negative phototropism. So root move away from light. Away from the light. So thereby it is a negative phototropism. You understand? So ஒவ்வொரு ட்ரோபிசத்துலயும் பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு நெகட்டிவ் இருக்கு, பாசிட்டிவ் இருக்கு. இப்போ நான் ஃபோட்டோட்ரோபிசத்துல பாசிட்டிவ் ஃபோட்டோட்ரோபிசம் என்ன? The movement of the shoot of the plants towards the light. Light நோக்கி வளருது, அது வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் ஃபோட்டோட்ரோபிசம். ஆனா ரூட் என்ன? அந்த லைட்ல இருந்து it's just going opposite. That means root goes into the soil. அப்ப அது லைட்ல இருந்து கொஞ்சம் தள்ளியே இருக்கு. So அதனால இதை நம்ம நெகட்டிவ் phototropism. Okay, so same way in geotropism எடுத்தாலும் சரி. If you take geotropism, geotropism. In the geotropism again you are having positive geotropism. What will be the positive geotropism example? The root grows towards the soil. Okay, root grows towards the soil. So it shows the positive geotropism. Do you understand? Okay. So next, negative geotropism. Negative geotropism. The negative geotropism. Shoot. Okay, shoot. Move away from the soil. Away from soil. The shoot எதை நோக்கி வளரணும்னு சொல்லிக்கிறோம்? Light நோக்கி. So the shoot will not go towards the soil, it will grow away from the soil. Okay, so this shows the negative geotropism. இது மட்டுமா? mangroves-ல இருக்கிற அந்த mangroves. So mangroves-ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த root எல்லாம் மேல வரும். It will not go towards the soil. It will not go into the soil. And the soil உள்ள போய் some of the roots they come out. And the root in the respiratory roots invaanga. Mangroves-la mangrove tree-la வந்து அந்த root it grow against the geo. It grow against the soil. So thereby and it will show that negative geotropism. So that respiratory roots of the mangrove trees shows the negative geotropism. Okay, Halophyte. The Halophyte mangrove trees, so their roots grow against the positive geotropism. அதாவது உள்ள போயிட்டு அந்த ரூட் வந்து உள்ள போயிட்டு மேலே நின்று it grow against the geotropism. I means against the soil. So thereby it shows the negative geotropism. Mangrove trees. Got it? Thickmotropism. Thickmotropism சொல்லிருந்த a touch. Okay, Thickmotropism Thickmotropism then it's a response to the touch. Response to the touch. Okay, so most of that I told you the climbers are vine, and the climbers, most of the climbers, they show Thickmotropism property. Okay, so because they show the response to the touch. Clear? So Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap shows fastest Thickmotropism. Thickmotropism. Understand? So Venus flytraps, you know already what is Venus flytrap. Okay, in the insectivorous plant is Venus flytrap on the insectivorous plant. So what it will do, and it will catch the insect. எதுக்கு அது insect catch பண்ணுது? ஏன்னா plant எல்லாமே autotrophs னு சொல்லுவோம். I mean they are able to synthesis, produce their own food. Then why unnecessarily this Venus flytrap catch the insect? Certain plants they lack nitrogens. Okay, ஒரு சில பிளான்ட்க்கு வந்து தேவையான நைட்ரஜன் வந்து சாயில்ல இருந்து எடுக்க முடியாது, கிடைக்காது. அந்த சமயத்துல that type of plants they will catch the insect and digest and get the nitrogen from this. Okay, அந்த இன்செக்டை பிடிச்சி அது சாப்பிட்றதுலேருந்து அதுலேருந்து நைட்ரஜன் வந்து அந்த பிளான்ட் வந்து டிரைவ் பண்ணிக்குது. ஸோ எக்ஸாம்பிள் Venus flytrap is an insectivorous plants. It catch the, as soon as the insect sit on this leaf, the modified leaf, and it closes. Okay, as soon as the insect sit on that leaf, the modified leaf of the Venus flytrap, the Venus flytrap closes leaves and catch this insect and digest it by secreting the lighting enzyme. Okay, so this Venus flytraps is more sensitive and it shows fastest Thickmotropism towards the touch. Okay, so thank you for watching, and we will discuss in the next session about that nastic movement. Okay, the nastic movement. So there are two types of nastic movements we will come across. One is an unidirectional movements of the, suppose if you go and touch peanut plant, it shows the response randomly. It is not showing only towards one side. Okay, so after seeing the nastic movement, we will have the differences between the tropism and nastic movements. Okay, thank you.